Hello. Thank you guys so much for taking the time to chat with me. I am so excited about the new series. How are you guys feeling with it about to come out?
Every time someone says that, it genuinely gives me goosebumps. It's like, it's so surreal. Yeah, we're over the moon. It's hard to believe.
Elated.
Oh, that's really exciting. So my first question is for you, Bailey. I think this is the first time I've seen a character like Imogen in terms of being a pregnant teen. I think oftentimes they are kind of pigeonholed in particular character types, and she has so much agency, and it's just like a part of who she is as opposed to like her entire plot line. Was that something that stood out to you about the role, or it was important to you?
Oh, incredibly important. And of course stood out. I remember, one of the first things I found out about Imogen when I was sent it was that she was pregnant. And immediately I had a moment of, oh yeah, no, this show is going in a different direction. It's honoring what's so beloved, but it is tackling real things head on. And that really, really excited me. So this is a first for me for sure. And it's an honor to get to tell a story that, like you said, we haven't seen much of.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it really comes through. Chandler, for you, I love your character as a horror nerd and a feminist myself. I really connected with her, and I love the way that she contextualizes the world through like films that she loves. I think I do that as well. What were some things about this character that really connected for you?
What really connected for me is Tabby's pursuit for the truth, and she is a very driven character. When she has her eyes on something, nothing can stop her. When we meet her, she's a bit guarded, a bit jaded, and you don't really know what's up with her. She loves film. That she uses it to see the world. It's her perspective. But it also, I think throughout the course of the season, you come to learn that it's also a coping mechanism for her. And it's really a tool that she uses to help her begin to process some of the things that she's experienced. So, so much, resonated for me when I stepped into her shoes, and particularly really using my art to kind of process and heal in ways. And, it's like a form of therapy for her, as is a form of therapy for me, portraying her. So it's pretty special.
Absolutely. Yeah, it does. It almost feels like and to some degree, kind of like a protection or like a wall that she puts up. The other thing I really love, particularly about the dynamic between your characters, is I think that there is this expectation of like horizontal hostility on a show like this, or, anything depicting teen girl relationships, right? And I think it's such an interesting and healthy dynamic. Was that something that stood out for you guys?
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, I think like friendships at its core are just, it's an essential part of life. Having people by your side that might not be related to you by blood even, who are your ride or dies, and they know you like the back of your hand. I think Tabby and Imogen are both at a place where they need that saving hand to reach out. And I don't think they expect it to be for one another, but there's no wall, there's no ulterior thought with the friendship. It's just two human beings seeing each other for who they are to the best of their ability and wanting to be by their side. And I think that that's a message that it's like, yeah, it's about damn time. Like share that story as well. And it felt really empowering for Chandler and I every single day to get to dive deeper into that relationship.
So one of the most powerful scenes, I think, in the show is the one that you have where you witness something that you can't talk about. And I think that is a plot, a plot line that a lot of people can really connect with. Was that something, and like the pressure of holding that kind of secret, was that something that was important for you to tell that kind of story?
Oh, 110%. Ever since I was a kid, I've always wanted to tell stories that resonated with me or that had a message that I really cared about conveying. And that scene in itself was actually the first scene that was ever shot of the show. That was the first thing ever. And
wow.
It was
right
really
out the gate.
Yeah, right out the gate. It was really intense, but I feel a huge responsibility when telling stories like that because it's so many people's realities, and it really did resonate with me personally. So I feel like with it being such a huge honor, I wanted to respect it and tell it as truthfully as I possibly could. And I trust our team of creatives to guide me through that. But I felt truly very I don't want to say honored, but I felt like it was important for me to do that. I don't know. It really, truly struck me.
So Malia,
Yes.
your character Mouse is one of, I think, the most interesting. She's certainly the most mysterious. And one of the things I think really stood out to me, she's kind of guarded. We're just starting to get to know her, right? But one of the things that are most undefined about her, I think, is in regards to her sexuality. She's introduced in one way, but things kind of feel undefined. What are your thoughts on that?
I identify as queer, and I'm very fluid in the way that and who I love. And so it was so cool for me to just read the character breakdown and understand that there was a kinship immediately there. And I think it's a story that needs to be told. I feel so blessed to have grown up in a time where media is so saturated with queer relationships and different types of gay relationships, successful and otherwise. But for me, this one was important because there wasn't a label. In high school, I knew I was something, but I didn't have a label. I was just existing in my body and going through my day to day. And I think that's the reality of a lot of young kids nowadays, which is so exciting. And so it was a really beautiful thing, just being able to play Mouse in a way that her identity was important to her, but not also at the forefront of who she is. But yeah, she does love everybody and she is out.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much nuance there that I think, as sexuality becomes more complicated and undefined, telling those stories also has to. So
Right.
getting to see that was kind of cool and exciting. Congratulations on the show. How are you guys feeling with it coming out so soon?
Crazy.
Yeah.
I'm very excited.
Does it feel real yet, or is it not until the credits roll on that?
Yeah, I think it's gonna be one of those things where I don't know if it'll ever feel quite that real.
Yeah. I slipped in and out of it. We just had lunch and I was, and all of a sudden it just doesn't feel like it's happening anymore. So it's just so bizarre. It's really exciting though.
Well, I'm very excited for you. I got to see a few of the episodes and it's great. I think one of the most complex and interesting dynamics is actually between your two characters. So I was very excited I get to talk to you both at the same time because you guys really do go on a bit of a roller coaster. And one of the things that I think this does really well is kind of without, sometimes textually, but also subtextually, kind of give core and clear examples of what microaggressions look like, which I think are so easy to dismiss or to avoid. Was that something that was important to the two of you to tell that kind of story?
I mean, absolutely. I think that microaggressions are so insidious because what the other half of a microaggression is the gaslighting that comes with it. And that is so troublesome because you can't fix something that people are telling you isn't real. So it's funny to have some, existential crisis where it's this actual monster, but the monster that Farron is dealing with is a bit more internal. And I was always really grateful to be able to have those scenes with Mal because she was so kind and giving and such a great acting partner. So it was always playing. It was always let's see how Farron and Karen would react to each other in this specific moment.
Yeah.
Always fresh.
I know. I hate to call it fun, but of course it's interesting to get to be the villain and be why? But why are you being this way? And I felt honored to be a part of this storyline and working with Zaria was a dream. We had a lot of long, fun days together. And yeah, I love the Karen Kelly Farron journey is a glorious, beautiful one that I will not spoil, but you can stick around for.
I mean, yeah, it's
We were
definitely
pretty pleased about all the stuff we got to do together.
Yeah.
That's great. I mean, I do think a lot of times the most fun character must be to get to play the villain. Has that, how was that experience for you?
Yeah, I can't emphasize enough how fun it is. I just feel like there's so much room for exploration too and I love all the girls. I adore Zaria. And so it was nice to have this
I felt very comfortable with everyone. Felt very close with everyone, and it just really gave me the reins in the moment to be like, okay, I'm going to be as awful as I can think of in this moment. And Zara and I had so much fun. She was saying earlier, like, I might wink, but I remember I did like a pouty lip at you. Like, it's just, it's always like, how can I be more menacing and just a bit.
So sorry, I cut you off. But one time she accidentally it kicked me. Oh, I think we're lagging. That's the thing. She accidentally kicked me in the scene, and we just played it, and it was like magic because it was like, how would Karen feel? Yeah, I feel like it wasn't an accident, and Farron would feel it wasn't an accident, and how would Karen feel? You know what I mean? If it was an accident, if it wasn't, you know, all of that stuff. So it was really fun.
Yeah.
Well,
that's a great one. I forgot about that.
Well, it turned out great. You guys have a fascinating dynamic. I cannot wait to see where those characters go. Congratulations on the show. It's fantastic.